Hi, I'm Brad Leyland, CEO of the Focus Group, and in this lesson, I'm going to help you identify the people that you can recruit to be on your TDS team. There are three groups of people that I want you to begin to identify. The three groups are facilitators, advocates, and askers. Facilitators are people who say things like, "You know who you should meet with," or "If you ever want to have a function at my office, I would be happy to provide you free space." These are people who want to make suggestions or possibly provide you access to something they have, but they don't really want to put their names out there. So while they'll let you hold an event at their house, they're definitely not going to give you a guest list. One of our clients has a donor that has this really awesome boat, and they said, "Hey, if you want to have an event on our boat, that's great. I'll show up at it, but you need to invite the people." So they facilitated this really neat party on their yacht in New York City, but they didn't want to ask their friends to come and hear about the organization. So they facilitated a neat night on a really big yacht, which is great. Next, we have advocates. These are people who are willing to open doors and do introductions. They say things like, "You know who you should meet with," and then they send an email introducing the two of you. Or they tell you that they would love to open doors for you at their church or at their office. I remember when I was raising money myself, and there was a business leader who was moving to town and was the CEO of a really large company that had a history of being very generous in our community. I tried to get an appointment with the CEO because I had heard that they knew about our organization, but I was pretty much told multiple times no by his secretary. So I called a friend of mine who was a large donor, and I said, "Hey, you're a CEO of a big company in town. Would you mind calling this other CEO and asking him if he'd have lunch with me?" And within days, he'd made the phone call, and a few days later, the lunch was set up. The third characteristic of leadership we are looking for would be people who are willing to be askers. These are people that will not only tell us who we should talk to, not only open doors for us, but actually be willing to be a part of the meeting and often a part of the actual ask. I remember one donor of a client of the focus group who said, "Not only am I going to give a big gift, but I'm going to ask all my friends that I golf with to give large gifts." When we identify donors who are willing to help us ask other donors, we need to stick close to them and leverage their willingness to allow us to be more effective at our jobs. So let's say you have a list of 100 major donors that you are responsible for. And you make the observation that 15 of them will be your advocates and 7 of them will be your askers. These are the people that are your potential members of your TDS team. Unfortunately, people who just want to facilitate don't make good TDS team members, although it is always great to keep track of what people have and are willing to share with us. Sometimes your organization's donor base is regional or local, and thus your TDS team can actually meet 2 to 3 times per year face-to-face. But other times, due to the geographic distribution of your donors, and thus your TDS team members, you may only meet once per year face-to-face and 2 other times via video conference. But get started, write up the job description, and make this list of potential members, and start meeting and never stop. Thanks for taking leadership and donors seriously.